Oi lads, Crypto here, come on, you should know this by now, this is after all the 123rd video on the damn channel. In today's video we'll be talking about buffs and complaining about them. Welcome to the Crypto channel. Oh, here we go again, Crypto making a video complaining about Borderlands 3, what a surprise. No, listen, dickhead, I have more time on this game than your granddad does on his life support, alright? Don't come at me. Ultimately, I just make these videos because I want Borderlands 3 to be the best game possible and, I mean, after all, I have more Reddit karma than you, therefore my opinion is valued the most among all. Right, so, as I was saying, we got a bit sidetracked there. Wait, hold up, I just said side. Alright, it's a perfect opportunity here, man, I can't just let it slip. just play the fucking intro, man, god damn it. What you know about rolling down in the... Right, so one day I went to the Apple store to buy the new iCommunication device 22S, and on my way there I met Randy Pitchford. What the Yogi Bear and Goku's child looking ass told me was absolutely incredible and will definitely change the way you live your life. You ready to hear it? Right, so...
Welcome to San Andreas, I'm CJ from Grove Street, landed...
Alright, back to the video before I hear, oh Crypto, why are your intros always about 2 minutes long? Listen man, how else am I meant to get Drake on this upcoming album? I need money. So you wake up and it's Thursday, right? You check your Nokia Arabia 2005 edition laying right next to your AirPods, which you unfortunately cannot use because they're not compatible with your Nokia. And you see that Gearbox have tweeted out the newest patch notes or hotfix notes for Borderlands 3, and you see that sweet buff. And the natural instinct is to be excited, right? You go in game and you can mess around with said weapon and there's potential for it to be included in your build. Hell, maybe it'll even become one of your favorite weapons. If it wasn't for the buff, you wouldn't even touch the actual weapon. It's shit, right? Leave it alone. Fuck it. And that's honestly perfect. Buffs are incredible and a huge step up from Borderlands 2's terrible endgame balancing. Being able to use any legendary weapon you earned with your max level Vault Hunter is such a good feeling. But whilst it's a step up for endgame, the same can't really be said for early game, and that's why I'm making this video. Let me dive into more detail. Alright, so let's say you're in the mood to do a new fresh run of the game, because why not? I mean, it's something a lot of us do just for fun. And after all, one of the biggest selling points of the Borderlands franchise is that they're one of the most replayable games out there. Once you meet Ellie and unlock the Catch a Ride, you do the Dump on Dump Truck side mission, which has you fight Dump Truck, who has a chance to drop one of the most batshit busted weapons in the game right now, and that is the TK's Wave. As mentioned earlier, some weapons were completely unusable at endgame pre-buff, and the TK's Wave definitely falls under that category. You see, on the 13th of May 2021, this thing got buffed by 233%, making it have more base damage than the Hellwalker, which was previously pretty much the best shotgun in Borderlands 3. And even now, because of the shooting pattern, it might still be the best all-around shotgun in Borderlands 3. So at the time, we all thought this was cool. The more weapons viable at endgame, the better. Well, back to early game, you kill Dump Truck a bit. I guess you can say you wait until he dumps that truck of a weapon. And there it is, the TK's Wave. Now, I just want to say that early game, no matter how bad the legendary is at endgame, it will somewhat do the job, especially in a game like Borderlands 3. So you pick it up and you use the level 5 version and it takes you all the way until the end of Athena's, making you level 16. Yes, I shit you not, a whole 11 levels, I genuinely tested this. And the thing is, I could have kept going too, the thing wasn't dropping off at all. For a game that advertises itself for having over 1 billion guns, this is not a good look, and I think we can all agree here. And that's my issue. By buffing weapons and making them viable for endgame, you are ruining early game alongside its replayability. And I think this is an issue on Gearbox's end as well. They really don't think twice before making their choices. So let's go over why being able to use the same gun for over 10 levels is bad and how Gearbox can easily fix this. One big issue with making these buffs apply to early game is the fact that it shortens down a playthrough by too much. Something that made the other games enjoyable is the character progression. Often you'd be like, oh shit, I need to get some new weapons, my build is kinda dropping off. During Borderlands 3 story, that doesn't happen at all, since you'd stick with one gun which would carry you for 10 levels, and during those 10 levels you'd get a legendary which was buffed in the past will drop to you, and you'd be fine for another 10 levels. And the cycle of that just keeps going on and on and on and on. This removes all purpose of farming, and the real farming in Borderlands 3 only begins during the Mayhem levels. And again, this is a game with over 1 billion guns. Using around 7 for the entire story isn't too great. And yeah, obviously you're not forced to use the legendaries during a playthrough, but you should be encouraged to change your weapons, not force yourself to do it. Now trust me, I'm not saying that legendaries should now be nerfed to the ground and have a sequel to the infamous Nerflands chapter we had at the beginning of Borderlands 3's life cycle, but honestly, the flow of the story did feel so much better at launch, with weapons being worse during the story. Legendaries should be great and have the most power among all the rarities, but they have way too much power right now. Like, for real, most of these motherfuckers feel like they're pearlescents. These buffs applying to early game is also bad because let's say Borderlands 3 is some fella's first game in the franchise and straight after they finish the story, they go play some other game in the series. Man, regardless of it being Borderlands 1, 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, or fucking Tales from the Borderlands, we can't forget about that one, the difficulty will make someone feel like they're playing a Dark Souls game, and here are a few ways Gearbox can fix this. Instead of making the buffs universal and apply to every single level of the weapon, how about we only make the weapon damage buffs apply to Mayhem level variants of the weapon? I think that makes sense and doesn't touch the very balanced endgame we have right now. This doesn't seem like a hard thing to do at all, especially when only buffing weapon damage. However, when it comes to changing the effects of a weapon, such as making the lob shoot in a burst pattern, that could be implemented into every single variant or level of a weapon. I think that's the most simplest option and probably the best way Gearbox can make the build up to endgame rightfully more difficult. However, what they could also do is the more complicated thing and change the loopholes around. Again, look, if you're gonna buff one of the first legendary shotguns you get in the story by 200%, making it the highest base damage shotgun in the game, make it drop later in the story. Maybe towards the very end, or hell, even lock it behind endgame. Guardian Takedown still needs better and more loot, so why not lock existing OP weapons behind it? Though please, pick the first option I said if you are gonna pick one, Gearbox. Don't change the loopholes around again. That's annoying as shit, and honestly, I can't really think of what else they could do if they want to keep the endgame very balanced. The two options I brought up are probably the most simple ones out there. Also, I know I brought up the TK's wave as a prime example here, but this actually applies to most weapons in the game. For example, the crossbow sniper rifle, or the Hellwalker shotgun. The Hellwalker can be obtained from Road Dogg, who can be found in the Splinterlands before you even meet the Agonizer 9000. And how long could you go on using that exact same Hellwalker? Probably longer than I did on my first date. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you fellas also think this is a big issue in Borderlands 3, or do you think this is perfectly balanced and should remain as is? Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And with all that out of the way, that marks the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I make content all things Borderlands and Wonderlands, so it's definitely worth sticking around. Oh yeah, also rumor has it that if you like the video, you'll be able to use your level 1 penis until the end of your life. Great offer, I know. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay classy. Peace.